Hello everyone, it is Randy here again, and what you'll be seeing today in this video is a little bit more of a casual upload, as I'll be going over the very last bit of what I did between January and May of earlier this year. Therefore, the last piece of the puzzle as to what I used these hard actions and these exploits was once again for the creation of very unique accounts. What you will see in today's video also no longer works, but although the process I'll be going over no longer works, some accounts still remain intact. And today I wanted to showcase some of the most unique level 3s I have and the process I took into building these accounts. When I say unique level 3s, I also mean likely the rarest accounts in the game, as almost every item these accounts wear is completely impossible to achieve, at least for a normal person who's not a crazy masochist like myself. But before we can get into these amazing, rare, awesome, unique accounts, I have to talk to you about something much more important than RuneScape and RuneScape accounts, and that is Raid Shadow Legends. Possibly the best, the greatest game I've ever played, far greater than RuneScape. You can see this for yourself firsthand because there are a lot more people who actively play Raid than there are that play RuneScape. It's just a better game, hands down. You all know me as a RuneScape player, and us RuneScape players, we really are particular about our graphics, and that's one thing I love about Raid. So yeah, the graphics are amazing, the champions all have a unique style to them. I'm all about style if you haven't noticed. You can even use shards to unlock multiple champions, even the hottest, amazingly graphically designed champions like these Ethos right here, and play as one of them. So like any other great game as well, Raid has an amazing endgame, and this is called the Doom Tower. Back when the Arbiter was created, she couldn't fight off all of the horrible monsters and basically had to stick them in this tower, and that's where you'll find the baddest and most horrific monsters of them all. There's special events every single day, there's new champions being added, and a great huge new update's coming out to the game called the Guardian Ring. So what are you waiting for? Click the description in the link below, or use my QR code in the top right corner to get a head start in raids today. With my code or link, you'll be able to unlock the new champion Chonaru, 200,000 silver, 1 ancient shard, 1 XP boost, and 1 energy refill. All of this treasure will be waiting for you here. So I'll see you all there. Join me today on the greatest game ever made, Raid Shadow Legends. Through the old mushroom server update trick, I was able to do a lot of things, and once again, this is the last of them. Now, not always was the mushroom used, but also the dance from the monk as basically an infinite stall I could control into a server update that would cut off queues of any kind of player effect. For instance, if I danced or went into a mushroom effect with invisibility, well, my account would therefore relog back after the server update and still have that invisibility. Or if I went into a server update as an infinite stall while in sheep form and still interfaced, I could log back in permanently as a sheep. I could almost smuggle any item or any effect out of any minigame with this 20-step organized process into an unlimited stall into a server update. 2 videos ago, you saw exactly this, as I was able to smuggle out an identical stat-boosted Inferno Cape from the LMS minigame. Of course, all of these accounts had an Inferno Cape, and this Inferno Cape did have identical stats, even though it was from the Last Man Standing minigame. But a level 3 with an Inferno Cape, that's just not rare enough. Myself and Mauler wanted to add some extra little things to these accounts that would make them even more unique. And we had, and still do, have a lot of these to spare. For example, do you remember this segment from my Barrows Gloves video I came out with just a few months ago? I myself, or even you, can outdo or defeat any of these weird achievements, or what some would even call records at the time, that I do on this YouTube channel. And on that note, hey, who knows? Maybe this achievement has already been bested yet again. A lot of people in the comments thought this was a joke, but no, I was 100% serious. We actually had a level 3 with not only an Inferno Cape, but Barrows Gloves. Technically, yes, they weren't the Barrows Gloves from the actual quest, but they had the same exact stat bonus. I know, big deal, Barrows Gloves on a level 3. That's what I thought too. There was one pair of gloves that was probably even rarer to have on a level 3, and that would require 59 magic, being the Family Crest gauntlets from Family Crest. I decided to use actually one of the very first level 3 accounts I practiced the mushroom glitch on, and this was actually when the mushroom still worked before even the dancing stall was required. So yeah, this was going to be a dirty stinky level 2 attack, but still 3 combat account that I tested many things on. That would finally be the one to complete Family Crest at level 3. But first, there were some other things I wanted to do as a level 3 that involved tests across this entire account. The first test was, this was one of the very few accounts that got through Priest in Peril with the infamous mushroom glitch with the server update, where I was able to remain 1 prayer and 3 combat, while having the Priest in Peril quest completed like a few other level 3s I had shown in previous videos. Another test I performed on this account early on, actually in the same exact update, was that of messing around with Death to Dorgeshuun. I found out by unlocking my tabs in this quest that Death to Dorgeshuun actually stays yellow whenever in the ending cutscene, even through dialogues, and whenever you click off these dialogues, the quest will automatically complete. This told me this quest could possibly be wrapped, but I didn't even want to do this and did not bother caring about making some crazy range accounts or range peers, because once again, I'm in this for just making some cool accounts and range XP doesn't really interest me. But what this also told me was that in this dialogue you actually unlock the Bone Dagger spec a couple dialogues back before the quest completes itself, meaning I could hold the unlock of the Bone Dagger spec behind a bunch of interfaces and stalls through a system update and never complete that quest, Death to Dorgeshuun, therefore never getting the range levels, leveling up my combat, but I would still have access to the Bone Dagger special attack on relog with the quest incomplete, being the first level 3 in the game once again to actually be able to use this Bone Dagger special attack. So why is this important? Why does anyone care about a Bone Dagger spec? Well, for this very reason. A Bone Dagger spec can enact poison on an NPC without actually dealing any damage if you roll a 0 hit. This means if you were able to actually take this into the fight caves on a level 3 account and not mess up the entire run with this Bone Dagger spec unlocked, it would unlock the new way to get a level 3 Fire Cape, which previously had been patched through December 2020's update, which fixed the Mind Shield stall with recoils, which killed 180s before without any XP. Yes, you would still get some XP in the caves, even with the Mind Shield mechanic. Therefore, once again, this reinvented the wheel for a level 3 Fire Cave to be possible. Well, that is until it was patched a week later. And therefore, to complete the level 3 Fire Cape nowadays, you're either going to need a lot of luck or one of these accounts. So that was my first round of server updates on this account and my first round of tests. I completed Priest in Peril at level 3 combat, 1 prayer, big whoop, you've already seen this, but I also had a Bone Dagger spec at level 3 combat without the ranged XP. But this account was not unique or rare enough yet. I still had some goals in mind. I wanted to get some more quests done that had never even been accomplished on a level 3 and wear some items that had never been worn on a level 3. Now, while going through this whole process with the Death to Dorgeshuun and Priest in Peril on this account, I had other accounts doing other tests, and one of these accounts was actually the first one to smuggle out and free walk an Infernal Cape on a level 3. I noticed through this account that yes, I was able to actually free walk the Infernal Cape and the stats, so my mind was racing for more tests and more accounts to try and build. I looked at that magic level in the top right corner and I thought to myself, a lot of things. This is where I plan for my next system update the following week for this unique, weird, stupid looking test account with 2 attack. During this time, the Infinite Mushroom stall actually got patched, but once again, I found an alternate route with this through the Dancing stall of the Monk's Friend quest completion. I decided I wanted to be the first level 3 in the game to complete Elemental Workshop Part 2. Why hasn't a level 3 done this quest before? Because it requires 20 magic, and as a level 3, I can't boost from 1 to 20 magic, and as well, of course, I don't even have the base level of 20 magic. So I used an alt account with recoils, got my elemental bars, finished Elemental Workshop Part 1, then went on to Elemental Workshop Part 2 where I completed up to the last of the quest and got a few primed bars ready in my inventory. Next on this test account, I thought about the Wilderness Diaries. I wanted to perform a low alch for the Wilderness Easy Diaries in order to get that Wildy Sword 1, being the first level 3 once again to do so. That's because to cast Low Alchemy, you need 21 magic. This was a common thing I did on all of my LMS smuggled level 3s, is I went straight to the Wildernessopolis and low alched a random object. Yes, even the ones with Barrow's gloves. This is when I had the idea. Family Crest. It requires 59 magic, and I'm only level 3 with 1 magic, but once again, the LMS boost was free walkable. Therefore, this means I could take blast spells along with me into the wilderness and defeat Chronozone possibly with that LMS smuggled boost after an update and a nearly infinite amount of stalls. So I got my smithing, mining, and fishing levels up for Family Crest quest and got to the very end to the part where I was supposed to begin defeating Chronozone. Now it's a good thing I was to attack here because by using all 4 elemental spells on Chronozone, I'm likely going to be getting some magic levels, and if I actually splash more than 1 time on Chronozone, I will end up 3 magic and therefore 4 combat instead of 3 combat. So a lot of this is all down to RNG. At this time also, I didn't know for sure if I could actually enter combat with LMS smuggled gear. I thought maybe this would make my gear disappear, but anyways, in case, I put some level 1 defense magic gear inside of the bank along with the appropriate runes to use after that system update and smuggling that LMS magic level. I already had 50 plus fishing from Family Crest quest, so I decided why not go further and prepare my account to also be the first level 3 to get a Hasta, requiring 55 fishing and 35 strength. Of course, I'm level 3, how am I going to get that strength level? Well, once again, the answer is the LMS free walkable smuggled boost. And although you saw in my Defense Saga series that I was actually never able to wield that Iron Hasta on my defense spear that I so desperately needed before getting banned, well, I would still be able to wield that Hasta on a level 3, because I could actually complete Twiboa and Trio quest and do all of this in preparation before the next system update. So I went through the lengthy system update process on this one test account. Now at this time, I was running like 10 other accounts at the exact same time, so I was a little bit stressed. Like always, I gathered my interfaces at the Tizhar fight pits, interface walked over to Ned's boat, got the force teleport from Ned, headed over to the Monk's Friend quest inn, which I also had prepared prior to this up to the last step of the quest, and here is where I got a bunch of dancing stalls wrapped and ready to go from the monk. From here, I went to LMS. Of course, I had to smuggle another Infernal Cape on this account, which took several games to make myself look pretty on this new level 3, as well as smuggle that boost out, and bam, I went through all of my interfaces, teleported back to the boat, and there was my dancing, level 3 Infernal Cape, 99 magic boosted account, fake logged until the server update hit. Like I said, I was running multiple accounts, multiple tests at this time, so I really was not paying attention. And when I say not paying attention, I mean I logged back in after that update and realized I had almost no inventory spaces. Now, why was this a problem? Well, the week prior when I realized for the very first time on that separate test level 3 that I realized I could smuggle out items out of LMS, well, you can't drop any of these items on the ground or trade them or really get rid of them in any single way. That is because as soon as you interact with the item, a failsafe pops up and deletes your entire LMS inventory. And I did not want that happening again. I did not want to lose my Infernal Cape. So I logged out for weeks. I had a lot more to do on my defense pier and just sat there and let myself think into a possible way to dispose some of the items in my inventory, as well as get enough space in my inventory for the ruins and other gear to complete these quests, including the Family Crest quest. After weeks of having this account stuck on this boat as a level 3 with an Infernal Cape and 99 magic, I realized there might be a way to get rid of these items without deleting the cape off my back and the rest of them in my inventory. And this was to go inside Morytania, which hilariously I had access to on a level 3 from the Priest in Peril XP I nulled prior in the other week. Why did I want to go to Morytania? Well, gas, of course. I realized some of the supplies I had in my inventory was food. I had Karambwans and Sharks from Last Man Standing. Now these weren't the same IDs as Karambwans and Sharks in the main game, but I thought to myself, well, they have an eat option, and Ghast seemingly attack anything that has an eat option in your inventory. So I went out to the swamp of Morytania and, well, stood there until the gas made all my LMS food into rotten food, which I could then drop that rotten food since it has changed item IDs without deleting my entire inventory and my beautiful level 3 Infernal Cape on my back. Now yes, even with this food gone, there was not a lot of inventory space, but I really wouldn't need it. I went ahead and tried to do the Family Crest quest where my magic was higher, therefore I would have less chance of splashing, and therefore my RNG would not put me at level 4 combat because of the less amount of splashing. Now, like I said, at this time, I did not know if combat would delete armor or even my Infernal Cape off my back, but I was willing to take a chance. So I equipped some of my level 1 defense magic gear and headed into the Edgeville Wilderness dungeon towards Chronozone. I once again used a manufactured fake log to get to Chronozone without taking any damage since my inventory was limited and I did not really have any space for anything besides the ruins and an anti-poison. I got very lucky here and did not splash on Chronozone at all. I was able to actually complete the Family Crest quest at level 3 and acquire the Family Crest quest gauntlets, the first level 3 in the game with these. And an even better surprise, combat didn't seem to take off my items or my Infernal Cape that I had equipped from Last Man Standing. So I could have Family Crest gauntlets and an Infernal Cape. But I was not done yet here. I went ahead and low-alched in the Wilderness for that Wilderness Sword 1. Once again, the first level 3 in the game with such an item. I then took my primed bars and my hammer and completed Elemental Workshop 2, now being also the only level 3 in the game with this quest completed, as well being the only level 3 in the game which could equip a Mind Shield and Mind Helmet. And my last endeavor, the Iron Hasta, the one item I was never able to complete on my Defense Pier journey. I went and did some barbarian fishing with my now boosted strength levels, and bam, I was able to complete the barbarian fishing portion of the tutorial and then the barbarian smithing, allowing myself to now use and make Hastas. So this account right now, as ugly as it was still level 3 combat, and I had a plethora of gear that no level 3 should ever have, including an Infernal Cape, Family Crest Gauntlets, an Iron Hasta, a Mind Shield, a Mind Helmet, a Wilderness Sword 1, and even some items from Mortania being only level 1 prayer. The rarity and the uniqueness of this account is something I've only dreamt of for a long time, and it finally was a possibility. I had almost felt completed in my endeavors with this entire game, and that is why I decided to log this account out right here and possibly never touch it again. That is, until I realized, what's the good of an account if no one can ever see it? Also, I'm gonna be honest here. This account was my worst one. It's 2 attack and 2 magic. It looks extremely ugly, so why not show off the worst of the bunch and sacrifice it for the greater meme? This is because over the first half of this year, I made a lot better and more unique level 3 accounts, with items spanning even as far as the Wilderness Sword 2, and even further items that should be totally impossible on level 3s, and of course, all of those wonderful Priest in Peril items I've shown in my last video on the level 3, which I'll link in the description below. So about 6 months later, when of course this account still was not banned, I decided to log back in, and there were a lot of people at Falador for some reason. And I did not think I would get this chance to flex this cape and this insane amount of gear this account had acquired at level 3. That's because in Falador at this time, it was the 117 HG client riot. And well, once again with my greedy ass self, I decided to go and show the world what I was capable of, and that in fact, these accounts I built 5 months prior with countless glitches and bots still existed to this day.
Danger items. Chesper is about to come kill you all. Follow for our ass wedding.
Yeah, baby.
Strange how this account's not banned for Dupine as well.
Oh shit, here we go again. Oh shit, here we go again.
Bug abusers should die.
In the end, this account got banned the same time as Uncle Attack, because I went on both of them and started spamming with an autotyper. Ban me, cowards. The moral of today's story once again is, there are a lot of bug abusers out there who don't show themselves as bug abusers because they favor getting away with very profitable activities in the bug abuse community, but they cover their tracks and they're even friends with some JMods in the public eye. But if bugs like these aren't disclosed, literally auto-typed to get recognition and shown to the public for over 200,000 views, a lot of malicious activity can go secret and hidden from the public for months on end, if not even years. I wish it was as simple as submitting a bug report, but unfortunately that's not always the case. For instance, if you saw the recent Sir Pugger video, I have reason to suspect that this same group of bug abusers actually was running this egg dupe for over 32 billion GP worth of profit per day for over 10 months, going undetected, because once again, they're hiding their actions on purpose, whereas I'm showing them publicly in videos just because I like doing what I do. Or I mean, I did. And now, once again, I'm just extorting you all for ad money to get more savings for my IRL channel. Hey, at least I'm honest. So, have a great day. I'll see you again here soon. I have some fun new uploads coming out. Check out my IRL channel if you haven't done that yet, and catch you all then.